will be talking about his compost research project. We'll take a break. Then Chuck will be talking about irrigation, and then Pat Shink, Susan Post, and Candace Shunke will talk to us about the well garden. Then we're going to wander through the well garden and also wander to some of the irrigation sites and stuff. But for the most part, we're going to start up here. All right? Okay.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
If anybody wants me to pass this around, I will. I know I've used it once so far. Or you can look at it and drill, so to speak. So I started this job in 1996, in June of 96, so it's been 16 years, wow, almost 16 years. And when I started, I came from Davis, where I had a kind of demonstration orchard, and then at picnic day, sometimes I would give a demonstration about pruning, because what I did was I had a tree that I cut down in the winter and put it in the refrigerator and then put it on a stand and then show how to do dormant season pruning in March or April. Anyway, so when I moved here, I was asked to give a talk over in the community garden, which is over this, about an acre-sized community garden. And Phil Damewood, who was organizing Harvest Day, asked me to speak on growing fruit trees. And he was in a community garden, and there was one fruit tree. It was a fig tree. And so I was trying to kind of say, well, here's what you would do on a normal, most trees, and figs are different in this way. And then I kind of talked about growing fruit trees. Well, I thought, we got to have a way for people to actually see, because you learn so much by hearing about it, and then when you actually see it, you really retain a lot more. So there was this piece of land over here with weeds all over it, and I looked over and I thought, that'd be a good place for a little demonstration orchard. So some of the master gardeners, about 7 of us, and I went to the Fair Oaks Recreation and Park District meeting, a meeting they were having, to ask to be on the agenda to ask to have a little area, 5,000 square feet, for an orchard. And they said, well, okay, we can let you try that, because I've had a lot of experience with demonstration orchards, and they thought, well, couldn't hurt. And then they said at the end, it's just that 5,000 square feet. Don't think about coming over this way at all. So we did, and just as we were getting ready to do the rototilling and preparation for it, you notice how the orchard is lower over there, and it was a little lower, but it was higher than it is now, but always was a little lower than up here. And so they took some of that soil, as I mentioned in the slideshow, and moved it over to fill in for the parking lot, which was a real bummer because there's hardpan all around. And there was hardpan, and so now we have raised beds in some areas on this side, because there's still crappy soil underneath. It's really, so they ripped the soil, so pieces of hardpan were still there, but it was really mucky. This was adobe clay, and it's still under there, and that's why I think our citrus really don't taste very good. In fact, we grafted a citrus of the same variety onto our citrus tree that tasted good, grafted it, the fruit from it now tastes exactly like the fruit from that tree, which tells you it's probably something soil related or water related or something, but I think it's because of the hardpan that's down below. Even though we have 8 inches of soil up there, I think part of that is because of the hardpan. Anyway, so I got a grant from the Elvinia J. Slauson Foundation at UC Davis, which is this woman died, and a foundation was left to UC Davis. And it's when they used to give grants, have the money to give grants, but now the money is used for other things to support other environmental horticulture causes. But so we got a grant to do that, and then it was working so well, we'd have and when I first gave that talk in 1996, there were about 20 people there. And so we started the orchard, and there became maybe 50 to 100 people at Harvest Day, and then workshops were pretty good size, and so we found it to be pretty successful. So we went to the board again, the Park District Board, and asked if we could have this area for vineyard, vegetables, and berries. And then to kind of make it a little better for them, sweeten it up, we said, we'll give that area over there to community gardeners. So the garden extended as well as our area, so that pleased everybody. and then we put in the shed. We had another grant from the Slauson Foundation at Davis to do this, and that was in 2000 that we put this in. So orchard was in late 97, early 98, which was an El Nino year, and it was very interesting digging trenches and putting in pipe. I have some pictures of it. I think I showed one of them, but anyway, so 2000 this was put in, and then a little later there was just this little remainder weed patch out here. So we went to them and said, you know, we want to fill in this area and have a water efficient landscape, because water is a crucial concern here, and demonstrating how to grow water efficient landscapes is really important, and they liked the idea. And then so we got a grant from the California Department of Water Resources. They had a water efficient landscape grant program, when they still have that. They might still have it. And then the Sacramento County Department, transient occupancy tax. Remember hearing about that, anybody? Well, they used to give grants for that money. Now they use it to balance the budget. So we got $37,000 from the county to put in the water efficient landscape, and $120,000 from the Department of Water Resources, and then more money from the Slauson Foundation. So, you know, we were approaching $200,000 for the water efficient landscape, which included a very expensive fence all the way around it, the metal fence, the pathways, the raised planters, and various other things. So that was in 2003. So that's been going 8 years now, and it's not quite finished. We never put in that other section, which is supposed to be an Asian garden over here. We've been waiting for maybe some more volunteers and also a little more stability. So we're approaching fiscal stability. I'm just kidding. I have a hair in my mouth. So we started with about 7 master gardeners who were involved with the orchard initially, and now we're up to something like 50 or 60 that maintain the horticulture center, and they do all the work, which gives them experience to know and tell how to teach people how to actually grow the plants, what's involved, because boy, if you have to do it for a season, a year after year, you really become pretty proficient at how to grow them and how to teach people about growing them. Let's see, anything else about the history, Judy, that you can think of you want me to cover? And then, well, I'll be talking about the compost later.